Well, good afternoon, folks. This is the Pen and Journal here. I'm at home today because it is raining, and I don't do contract work in the rain unless it's an emergency. So I'm at home, so I thought I would use my time wisely. And I've made one video. You can see it. Well, I hadn't loaded it up yet, but it's, I have loaded it up, and I just made another one on my EDC pen. So this will be video 3 for the day. So, what I decided to do is do a video, because I'm a big journaler. I'm a big note taker. I like to write. Never wrote a book. I don't even know if I can, but so I do like to journal, and so I want to do it on journaling prompts. Even though I don't use them that much, I do look at them sometimes, and I kind of wanted to maybe give you an idea of what you can do. And something I've been doing the last month is, well, I've actually done it a little bit longer, but I've started with my grandparents. So I wanted to write things about my grandparents. My mother passed away in 2018 of cancer, so I lost her. I don't have any of my grandparents left. My daddy's alive. He's 88 years old. He's got a good life. He gets around good. So me and him talk all the time about our grandparents. And they give you a lot of memories. A lot of people, didn't have a relationship with the grandparents, but I did. So, all but one. And my mother's daddy, my papa, he died when I was 2 years old. He was actually keeping me, babysitting me, and he died when I was laying in the bed. So, with him, but taking a nap. But even if you don't have a relation, if you didn't have a relationship with your grandparents, didn't know them, there's other people in your life that that I'm sure have influenced you that you can write about. So with my grandparents, and I'm writing about all 4 of them, even though my pawpaw, I know that's a southern slang. I didn't know him, but I've been told a lot of stuff about him that I remember over the years. I've had my uncles and different people, my mother, my daddy tell me stuff about my pawpaw. So I have it in here, but I also want to take it out of here and put it on paper. So I started this, a month or so ago, and I'm gonna go over some journal prompts too. But I started this, about a month or so ago. I thought, it would be a good idea. And I'm just not going to do it on my grandparents. I'm going to do it about my mother, and I may just write 2 pages. I may write 4 or 5 pages, or I just may keep writing until I ain't got anything else to write about. And you can see, this is my Granny Garvin, which is my daddy's mother, and my granddaddy, which is my daddy's daddy. So that's what I started with, and really didn't have any, particular order I wanted to start in, but that's just what I did. I lost my granny when I was 8 years old. They called her Granny Garvin. So a lot of things I wrote about, and I may write 3 or 4 paragraphs and then stop, and then the next day I'll take up where I left off and start back writing. And I've said before, you're making a history book. This will be a history book. This will be something that my children and my grandchildren can read, and they can read about a great-grandparent or a great-great-grandparent that they didn't know, but they can sit and read, something about them. And you can do it about your parents. You can do it about an aunt or an uncle. You can do it about your brother, a friend, or whatever. Somebody you work with. I've wrote stuff about work and people I've worked with and stuff like that, and I'm using this as a journaling prompt. prompt. You know, if you know, it's a good idea to do that. If it's a good idea to write about some of your family people or some of your childhood memories, you know, your memories, that's another good thing to write about in your journal. You know, so, and I Googled this, well, you can't see it, but I Googled this, and it's simple journal prompts. And these are journal prompts. I'm giving you just something, an idea. You don't have to use them. You may already have stuff you want to write about, you know, so, but this is what I like to write about. I enjoy writing about people in my life and my memories and things that I've been through or things that's happened or positive things about people that my family or whatever or my friends or a you know, an event, just things like that, something that's real. And here's some, you know, these are some journaling prompts. And this is called simple journal prompts. What are your plans for this weekend? Write 5 affirmations for when you are feeling low. And that's another thing. You can set, I like to write my goals down, you know, positive things. I even do it in my planner, you know, put something, a Bible scripture up for the day or something that's positive I want to remember. What is the best book that you have read recently? You know, you can write about that book and how it affected you. You know, that's another good thing. How have you grown this year? That's a good subject to write about. How have you grown? What's changed? You know, maybe somebody influenced you. You know, somebody at work, somebody, a family member, somebody's done something for you. So, you know, and I like to write positive stuff. What are the most important life lessons you have learned? To me, that is a great prompt. What is the most important life lessons you've learned? That's a great prompt right there to write about. You know, because it gives you an insight on maybe what you've learned out of life, somebody that's influenced you, or something that's in your life that's hard that you keep in here is good to write about. Have trouble sleeping? What's keeping you up? Another good thing. What is the last dream you remember? You know, that's you know, pretty cool. Name the 3 biggest priorities in your life right now. That's a good thing. Just you know, something you probably won't write pages about, but something to write down. You know, you can write it down. You can write it down in a small one like this. These little small notebooks are just as good to write in as these big ones. It's just what you like to use. So you can jot something down in this. You may be just walking out in the woods or driving. You got something pops up in here, you know, just pops in here, write it down. What are your biggest fears? Now I've wrote about that before. You know, that's a good thing to write about because it might help you to get through it. Do you have a fear that is stopping you from achieving your goals? Name 3 challenges and 3 ways to overcome them. What would you do if you were granted 3 wishes? You know, we don't get wishes, but that's kind of fun to do. You know, and I guarantee you, if you write this stuff down, and when you're gone, and we're all going to die one day, but you have this stuff written down to leave to your children or your family. Somebody in your family, they're going to cherish it. Like I've said before, you're making a history book. Name 3 bad habits you would like to change. And we all probably got something we'd like to change about ourselves or something we do that we don't like. What was the last show you went to? Add some more items to your bucket list. If you don't have a bucket list, start one. What is your biggest regret? You know, you could write that down as a title, but you may could write 2-3 pages on it. and it maybe help clear your mind. Think about someone you really love. Write about that person that came to mind. That's an excellent subject to write about. Just like my grandparents here, and you love them even when they're gone. You still love them. You know, I wrote about our Christmas party right here. You know, back in December 2020. I wrote about Hurricane Sally. I went and did damage assessment at Hurricane Sally. That's part of my job, and that's an adventure. So you can write about some of your adventures. I wrote about my dad right here, and you can write about these people more than one or two pages, and you may write about them today. 6 months later, you have a memory that you thought about, and you write it down. I wrote about Mother's Day because it's I've got a wife that's a mother. I love her. I've got my oldest daughter's a mother. I've got a daughter-in-law that's a mother. So I may write about them. Just different things you can write about. Write about people. Camping season. And there's so many things, and if you get stuck trying to think of something, you can get on your phone and you can get these prompts. List the best 10 moments of your life so far. I look at it as I like to write blessings. What I believe God has blessed me. And, I don't know your religious beliefs or whatever, but I'm just telling you what I do. I write down what prayers have been answered, how God has blessed me in my life, so another subject, scrolling down, is gratitude journal prompts. And I've heard a lot about gratitude journals, so here's a few of them. What 5 things are you grateful for this week? You can write a lot about that, or just jot something down. Name the one thing you're most grateful for in your life at this moment. Write about 5 amazing childhood memories that you're grateful for. And see, that's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorites is going back to my childhood, how I grew up, where I grew up, what I did, what my parents did for me, what type of memories that I have. It could be something just like my memory of my mother going to we didn't have a dryer, so she would hang her clothes up, and when it would come a thunderstorm, she would say, "Hey, Bobo, come out here and help me get the clothes off the clothesline." I'd go out there and help her, and first thing she'd say is, don't let the sheets touch the ground or the towels. Don't get the towels on the ground. That's a memory, and I've actually got that wrote in my journal. That's about my mother. That's something my kids can read. Like, oh, my grandmother, So it's so important. It like I said, you're preserving your history in life. You're making you a history book. So you need to remember that. It's a good thing to do. Which people in your life are you most grateful for? That's another good subject. There's some great journaling prompts you can pull up on the internet. You can look at them on YouTube. So if you get stuck trying to figure something out, which I'm sure most of you don't, and you don't even have to have a journaling prompt. You can just, whatever comes in your mind, sit down and write about it. Write about something that made you smile today. When were you last surprised? What is the most exhilarating thing that has happened to you this year? Yeah, that's pretty interesting thing to write about. Name a challenge you have overcame and how it helped you grow. That's another good one. How can you show gratitude more? What are the 3 things that have happened to you which were difficult, but you are now grateful for their experience. And I look at that as going through a hardship, and God's blessed me, brought me out of it. So, that's, and I'm gonna go over some more, but that's some journaling prompts. See, I have my aunt died, and I was very close to her. It was my mother's sister. She died just a few months after my mother died. I wasn't ready for that. So to help me grieve, I wrote, stuff about her. I wrote several pages about her, but that helped me grieve. I wrote about my mother when she was in hospice, and I go back and look at it, and it helped me to grieve. There's nothing wrong with writing about stuff like that. See, I've got several pages of my aunt. Several pages. Get you in a quiet place. A lot of times I'll come in here at the table in the morning early and get my coffee, or I'll go to the office back there and sit, and where it's quiet, or you can go sit on the porch or go back. I've got a little place out in the back in the woods back there that I'll have a fire pit. I might go back there and write stuff down. So it's wherever it's a good quiet time for you, and it's a good way to do some stress relief. So get you a subject. If you got loved ones, write about them. Write about them. It's a great thing to do. And like I said, you're making a history book. Here's some more prompts. Health and wellness prompts. Keep a food tracker for the day. Make a meal planner. Write down your measurements and weights so you can compare later. What is your favorite exercise? This is a different type journaling. Did you make healthy choices today? And you could write these in a small notebook. You can track stuff in one of these small ones. You can just carry it with you. How can you make activity part of your normal routine? What is your favorite food? I could probably write 3 books on that. List your fitness and health goals. So that's some health prompts. Then you go on down, and this is just some I found. Goal and aspirations prompts. What are your top 10 goals? That's a very good thing to write about it. If you're goal oriented, I am, and I like to list those things. What is your number one year goal? What is your 5-year goal? What is your 10-year goal? If you could start life again, would you? What would you change? Who is someone that inspires you and why? That's a very good one too. Because I've had mentors in my life. I've been mentors, and it's fun to write about those mentors and what they gave you, or what you gave somebody that was mentoring you, or you were mentoring. What kind of person do you aspire to be? Name a skill you would love to learn. Those are great, man. Those are great journal prompts. Journal prompts for memories, and that's what I was just talking about. That's what I was talking about, writing about my grandparents. Get you a notebook. If you've never journaled before, get you a notebook. You can get you a Moleskine. You can get on Amazon and order them, find you one. You can go to Barnes & Noble. You can find the small ones. You can get a Moleskine. You can get a Field Notes, Log & Jot, or whatever. There's plenty of places to buy them. You can get a Moleskine at Staples or whatever. There's no excuse for not having a notebook. You can find them. Just get you a simple one and start. I promise you'll enjoy it. Describe your child. This is from your memories. Write about the first memory you have. Describe your childhood. And I hadn't even started doing that yet, except for my grandparents. And I'm gonna do that. I like to write about my mother's and my dad's their what they've done, and how they've how they raised us and what they did for us and stuff like that. So do you have an embarrassing moment that still makes you cringe? Which was your best birthday ever? I like to write about Christmas and Halloween and the holidays. stuff like that, occasions like that, with my family. What was a hobby you loved as a kid? See, when you're writing this stuff, like I said, you're making a good history book about your life to give your children or pass along to somebody. What is your best memory with some of the special people in your life? What is a memory that always makes you smile? Then you got travel prompts, daily prompts. All of us travel somewhere. All of us go on a vacation. We camp. We tow our camper places. We go on vacations. That's another good thing to write about. Name 10 places you would love to see. What is the worst vacation you've been on? Then you got daily prompts. Write your daily bullet points. I've heard of people keeping a bullet journal. Do your current friendships and relationship bring joy to you? What is your biggest concern right now? Do you think you are a positive or negative person? Just some ideas. Write about your top 5 personal strengths. Could you be a better partner, wife, husband, mother, father, daughter, or son? Do you have a morning routine? Can it be improved? How are you feeling today? Then you got a monthly journaling prompt. And this is actually a good prompt page. You can write March each. You can have prompts for each month of the year. And I found this. This is 99 plus journal prompts to inspire you, and it was published in 2020. 99 plus. I don't know why the phone don't show up good, but 99 plus journal prompts to inspire you. So if you want to get some journaling prompts, it's easy to find them. You can get them on the internet. You can get them on YouTube, and if you want the journaling prompts, print them off and have them. And you can pick. When you get one of them done, you can write another one. But I will, and my suggestion is to write about. One of the neatest things you can do is write about your grandparents or a close person to you. It can be a friend. It can be your parents. It can be a mentor you had in life, and we've all had them. That's a great thing to write about. It's a great thing. You're writing a book about that person, basically a history book. Great to write about that. So write about them. Don't be afraid. And if you sit down and you run out of things to think about, I promise you, 2 or 3 days later, like with my granddaddy, you'll start back. Oh yeah, I remember he did this, and you come in here and you'll write that down. It'll be something else you remembered about him. Maybe something else the next day. Same thing with your parents or your friends. So get you some journal prompts. Write about your family. Write about your loved ones, your children. Write experiences you've had with your children. I've got 5 grandchildren. I hadn't even started about writing all about them. And I do write some things here and there, but when I'm done with my grandparents and then my parents, but I do jot stuff down as I go about my grandkids as they do it. So good idea to write about people you make in a history book. Okay, so I'm going to end this video. God bless you. Subscribe to my channel. Hope you like this video. Put a comment. If you got some more ideas about what to write about, let me know. Let everybody know. Hit the like button. Hit the bell. God bless you. Have a great day, and y'all be safe out there. Thanks.